Oh, oh gosh. Was there a race today? Oh, Phoenix. Oh, I guess I didn't miss anything. Well, welcome in everybody. This is the post-Phoenix race review. We are talking about the snooze fest that was Phoenix. It was not good. And we're just going to talk about the results, the storylines, and get ready for next week at Bristol. So we're going to start, though. Race starts off, Denny Hamlin on pole, but early jump went to Ty Gibbs, and we actually got through the end of stage one, and Ty Gibbs fell off, and Tyler Reddick pulled off the win, pull off the stage one results over here. We've got Tyler Reddick up on the top. We also had Ty Gibbs finishing second. Hamlin, you'll notice there's a trend. The Toyotas, they were fast. They were all fast. Everybody was fast. Then you had Elliott, Byron, Blaney, McDowell, Briscoe, and Truex. McDowell, more speed. Again, good qualifying efforts leading to stage points. That's going to get him in the playoffs. I'm telling you, they're gonna make it. So yeah, that's stage one. We go past stage one. We move into stage number two. We got Christopher Bell winning that stage. Then we have Reddick, Hamlin, Byron, Truex. Notice again, 4 of the top 5s, Toyota. Again, that was the make to beat. That was a statement. So then we've got Blaney, Elliott, Gragson. I was going to say I'm very surprised at that. Keselowski and Buescher also got up there. Showed some speed as the race went on. We moved past that, and they went into stage 3. And in the middle of stage 3, there was an incident. I'm trying to remember exactly what the incident was. They had a caution with around 100 and some to go, right at 100 to go maybe, and a handful of cars from the back pitted. They were just outside the window, and then another 10 laps there was another caution, and now they were in the window, and the guys up front were able to save, and so it flipped the field. So everybody up front got flipped to the back. Truex and Priest were the only two that stayed out, as the rest of them all pitted. They all came out 15th or worse. And so you had some of them try 2 tires, you had some of them go 4 tires, and I'll be honest, didn't seem to make a difference. The better cars still found their way to the front, and a lot of them never got back where they were before. So we'll look at our state or our race results here. We've got, there's the whole shebang of them, and so... Oops, I got to slide over. Results are a little bigger than I thought. But yeah, we have Christopher Bell. He picks up the win. He was the best car all day. He seemed to be the only car that could actually drive to the front and pass people. Chris Buescher did eventually kind of work his way back up there. Keselowski, Blaney, again, all these cars slowly could get their way forward, but after 80 laps, that they did not get very far. Martin Truex Jr., he was one I mentioned earlier, did a little bit of pit strategy. He actually led, pitted, came out with fresh tires, and drove back around through the field. He was actually only about 12 seconds behind Bell when the race ended, and he was about a half-second a lap faster. So, had the race gone another 20 laps, there could have been pit strategy, but just showing right there, pit strategy wasn't an option. The tires just didn't fall off enough. Michael McDowell, 8th, another top 10. Like I said, he's getting stage points. He's getting top 10s. He's going to make the playoffs. I'm calling it. Chase Briscoe in 9th had a heck of a race. Ticked off Eric Jones a little earlier. You'll see Eric Jones down the list. He ended up finishing in 31st. Some contact after he kind of ran him wide, put him in the wall, bent a toe link, pretty much ended Eric Jones' competitive day. Tyler Reddick rounds out our top 10. Then we have Hamlin. We have Gragson, another good run. I'm thinking Gregson's going to have the best run of the SHR cars speed-wise. He was the fastest for most of the day, but the pit strategy at the end flipped it, put Briscoe back up front, got him a couple spots. But I do think so far, from what I've seen, that has been the fastest of the cars. We also have Suarez in 13th, and again, here's where it just gets all jumbled. So Larson got caught on pit strategy, never could really get higher than 17th in the running order. Hocevar, 15th. We got Bubba in 16th. Bubba had at one point driven all the way to the top 5 and then got flipped back on strategy. So Bubba finally got up there. It took him forever to get that Toyota up there. Once he got to the front of the field, he got bad strategy, flipped right to the back, stuck there. Todd Gilliland pulled a pretty bold strategy in stage 2, stayed out long, ended up getting it to recover by doing the next strategy and flipping to the front. Falls back to 17th. Not a bad run for where he ran most of the day. Byron, Elliott, Bowman. Byron and Elliott were top 5 all day. Just fringe top 5, maybe just below it. But again, the pit strategy flipping pretty much torched their day. Once they got stuck back there, they actually both started, I believe, in 15th and 16th, and they went backwards because in traffic they just didn't have anything. Stenhouse, Busch, Preece, all of those guys had some strategy or hiccups throughout the day. Like I said, Preece was with Truex on that strategy, but wasn't quite as fast, so he had fallen back a lot further. Nemechek, not much of a factor today. Josh Berry wasn't much of a factor. Didn't really ever even see their names in my top 20 top 20 running positions during the live stream. So didn't see them all day. Didn't see Hemrick. Didn't see Zane Smith. Didn't see Kaz Grala. These guys kind of stayed 20th or worse pretty much all day. Austin Dillon caught up in the early wreck. Corey LaJoie caught up in a wreck. Joey Logano caught up in a wreck. Derek Kraus and Austin Cindric. So the early wreck was Dillon, Cindric, and Kraus. And then LaJoie and Logano were caught up in one a little bit later after after Joey Logano went off the bumper of John Hunter Nemechek. So, yeah, that is our results, though. So Christopher Bell gets the win and was able to walk out of there with the trophy after that nice comeback. But we'll move on to the point standings so far. Currently, right now, you'll see we've got Ryan Blaney up on top of the points. He doesn't have a win yet. Obviously, Larson does. So playoff point-wise, it doesn't look the same. But he's up on top of the standings by 10 points. You can see it's got Larson, Truex. We've got Reddick he up 7 spots all the way to 5th. He had a lot of points today, stage points and whatnot. Then we got Ross dropping a couple. We got Ty Gibbs up there. You'll notice, again, a lot of Toyotas are moving forward. Elliott drops 2. He's in 9th. Suarez 10th, but again, locked in. Then we've got Busch, Bell, Bowman, Wallace, Cindric, and Buescher round out the top 16s. And if you look at that top 16, we've got some interesting characters over here. I mean, if you look, we've got Christopher Bell, and he's locked in, but the guys that I was a little surprised at where they're running so far this year, Cindric, still in the top 16. I mean, he lost 4 spots, but still in the top 16. Buescher in the top 16, not as much of a surprise. I would say Suarez with the win, a little bit more of a surprise, but definitely there's guys below this cut line that I think are going to surprise us. So moving on to the bottom 16, these are guys that I'm going to talk about being a little worried about. Michael McDowell 17th, like I said, tough couple first weeks. I think he's going to get in there. He's showing speed. Eric Jones dropped out of the top 16, but realistically, McDowell's the only guy I really see moving up in that first batch. Brad Keselowski, I think, will get better as the season goes on. Noah Gragson, this is the second week in a row where he's shown top 10 to almost top 5 speed late in the race. So I do think he has a shot. But that being said, I just want to point out one guy that I had mentioned during the race when the incident happened, Joey Logano. He is 30th in points. He is 30th. And we're 4 weeks in. This is not a huge number, but if you look, he's 100 points behind the point leader. Not a big deal. Don't got to win the points, but I think his chances at the regular season title are probably pretty close to dashed. So just too far back. But anyway, you look at the playoffs, 65. Well, that means 165. That's 35 points. He's almost getting close to a full race behind the cut line. Now, again, it's early. He can get up there. One big race can shoot you up. Look at Brad Keselowski. He had one good finish. He didn't even win. I don't even think he got stage points. And he ends up moving up 6 spots to 22nd. So you can shuffle around here. But that being said, he is very, very far down that list. I mean, he is all the way down in 30th. So a little early for concern maybe, but I'm not going to lie. I still have the concern for Joey Logano. So that's kind of my biggest wow. When I looked at the point standings, Austin Dillon's really, really had a bad start to the year as well. He's 32nd, just 5 points behind Logano, which is crazy because Logano showed speed everywhere. Just can't seem to get any good things to happen. I think he's got 3 DNFs already too. So just bad luck for Logano thus far. But anyway, guys, that will pretty much wrap up the recap of this race. Hopefully we won't see Phoenix as our championship race starting next year because this track is awful. And unless I'm not going to lie. This track deserves one date. It just needs one date. I'm sorry. Maybe you need a second date out west. You've got 2 Vegas dates. Honestly, put a second race anywhere out there. But there's never been a great race at Phoenix. There have been good races. No, there haven't even been that many good races. I'm not going to lie. Phoenix just... It's going to need... If you want to put on a really good, eye-catching race, it's going to have to be reconfigured in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying Atlanta, but it's going to have something done. That place has never been a place of exciting racing. It's always been very drawn out, fairly slow, kind of methodical, I guess-ish. But one more championship race there for this year. Please let this one be the last. I will be there. I hope it's a good race. But after today, I don't have my hopes high. It was not good. So Let me know your thoughts on the racing in the comments below. Also, the recap for all the standing and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, that'll wrap up the video. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.